$67,000. That's what the average American has sitting in their savings account right now. In most of Florida, that won't even get you through the front door. But there's a part of this state where that same money buys you 3 bedrooms, a front porch, a yard big enough to lose a dog in, and you've still got money left for the furniture. Not on the coast, not near a theme park. Out where the roads get narrow, the oak trees get wide, and the only traffic is a guy on a riding mower who waves at you even though he's never seen you before. I found 10 houses out there. A cottage from 1905 with a porch swing and a kitchen that looks like it was finished this morning. A brick house from 1927 sitting under the same oak tree it was built next to. 16 acres with a stone fireplace and a pool hiding in the woods. And at the very bottom, a tax bill that doesn't even hit $200 a year. The list starts at $224,900, and by the time we reach the end, we're down to $44,000. I'm Joseph. I'm retired, and every week I pick a different state and dig through listings until I find the ones that make no sense. Subscribe to my channel, Tiny Bucks Houses, so you see them before everyone else does. Everybody talks about Florida like you already missed your chance. This list says you didn't, not even close. Let's kick things off with the first property. From the air, this looks like somebody hid a house inside a forest and never told anyone where they put it. 16 acres of trees in every direction, a pool tucked between them, a pole barn off to one side, a gazebo with a deck, and a roofline sitting so low to the ground it almost disappears. That's not a mistake. This is a concrete berm design, built in 1982 and pushed into the earth on purpose, like the house wanted to be part of the land instead of sitting on top of it. Step inside and the stone fireplace hits you before anything else does. Floor to ceiling, real rock, stacked by hand, with built-in bookshelves and dark wood cabinetry wrapping both sides. That same dark wood runs through the entire house, the kitchen cabinets, the shelving, the bar area, like the whole place was furnished from one tree that just kept going. Terracotta tile underfoot, skylights overhead pouring light through wood-beamed tray ceilings, and on 2 sides of the main living space, floor-to-ceiling glass doors that slide open onto an enclosed sunroom where you sit down with a coffee, look out at the trees, and forget you own a phone. The kitchen flows right into the living area, open plan, same dark wood, same warm feel, nearly 2,000 square feet with only 2 bedrooms, so every room in this house has room to breathe. The primary bedroom has big windows, carpet, a ceiling fan, and enough space that it feels like its own wing. The bathroom next to it has a soaking tub set into a wood surround and a tiled shower with the kind of texture nobody bothers with anymore. There's a separate laundry room in the garage, washer, dryer, out of sight, out of the way. Now back outside. 2-car detached garage, 3-bay carport, a pole barn big enough to park a boat, store equipment, or build a workshop you never have to clean up. A wooden gazebo with a deck for the evenings. An in-ground pool behind the trees where nobody can see you but the birds. Septic was upgraded in 2021. HVAC replaced in 2018. Now let's talk about the location. 1,500 people. The kind of town where the gas station doubles as the morning hangout and nobody locks their door because there's nothing to lock it from. More lakes around here than anyone's bothered to count. Last number I saw was 400. There's a 16-mile paved trail that runs from town straight to Gainesville through nothing but woods. People bike it, walk it, some just stand on it. Groceries and a hospital are 20 minutes west. This is the kind of property where you pull in, turn the engine off, and just sit there for a minute. $224,900. Normally, once you've seen the most expensive house, everything after it feels like a downgrade. But then the next house shows up and steals the spotlight almost immediately. Let's get into house number 2. The first thing you notice is the entrance, a brick archway with ivy growing up the wall, the kind of front door that makes you slow down before you even reach it. This is a full brick house built in 1980, sitting on 2 parcels that add up to just over 2 acres in the Yellow River Valley. Inside, the living room stops you the same way the entrance did. Another stone fireplace, floor to ceiling, with hardwood floors running through the main space and natural light coming in from big windows on both sides. The rooms in this house are connected by arched doorways, not square cutouts, not open plan, real arches that give every room its own frame. 2,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, and all of it 1 story. The kitchen is dark wood cabinets on every wall with tile countertops and enough workspace that two people could cook in here without ever getting in each other's way. Off the main living area, there's a long screen porch, wood deck, ceiling fan, chairs facing the trees. This is the room where the morning starts and the evening ends, and everything in between just sort of handles itself. The bedrooms are generous. Walk-in closets in each one, ceiling fans, windows looking out onto the property. 3 full bathrooms, 1 for every bedroom, which at this price is something you almost never see. Outside, an attached garage, a pole barn on the property, and 2 acres of flat green land with Blue Lake sitting right in front of you. The listing photos were taken on a regular afternoon with no staging and no tricks, and even through that, you can see this house has no business being listed at this price. Now let me tell you where this is. Up in the Florida Panhandle, where it stops feeling like Florida and starts feeling like the Deep South with a beach nearby. Holt became a town in 1913 and quit being one a year later because the locals decided running a government was too much trouble. The Yellow River runs right through here, gold-colored water that you can paddle for 50 miles without seeing a rooftop. Blackwater River State Forest sits next door, the largest state forest in Florida, 190,000 acres of pine and cypress. And when you want sand and salt water, the Gulf beaches around Destin are 45 minutes south. This is the kind of house where someone spent real money on the details, the arches, the stone, the brick, and then time did the rest. $215,000. After that last house, I figured the rest of the list would slow down. The next one proved me wrong before I even finished reading the description. This one was built in 1938, and it's got more rooms than some houses twice the price. 5 bedrooms, almost 2,700 square feet on just over half an acre, with an extra parcel included. The living room runs nearly 27 feet long, knotty pine panels on the walls, a ceiling fan overhead, and a big window at the end, letting in the kind of light that warms the whole room without turning on a thing. Off to one side, there's a smaller room with a brick wood stove set into the wall, the kind of corner you sit down in and don't get up from until someone comes looking for you. The wood in this house tells you everything. Pine walls, wood trim, wood doors. This is what houses felt like before drywall took over. The kitchen is all business. Red cabinets from floor to ceiling on 3 walls. More storage than most people know what to do with. There's a sitting room off the hallway, a screened porch out back, and upstairs, an attic space with a ladder and real structure up there, ready to be finished into whatever you need. The bathroom is clean and simple, white tile, good light. The electrical was completely rewired in 2020, and the roof went on new in 2021. 5 bedrooms on the main floor, every one of them a real room. The primary is over 15 by 15. The yard is flat, open, with mature flowering bushes that have been growing here longer than most of the houses on this street. Carport on the side and a partially fenced lot. Now let me show you this town. About 600 people in Santa Rosa County, right on the Alabama line. Downtown here means a quiet street with a sidewalk and a couple of old trees. Not noise, not traffic. This was cotton and peanut country, and it still is. Jay has the only 2 cotton gins left in the entire state of Florida. Then in 1970, they struck oil right here, and over $400 million poured into a town most people couldn't find on a map. But drive through today, and you'd never guess it. Same quiet streets, same people waving from their trucks. A bank, a medical clinic, and a grocery store are all within walking distance from this front door. This is the kind of house where someone raised a family, planted flowers in the yard, and left the bones strong enough for the next person to do the same thing. $199,000. Up until this point, every house felt like it belonged exactly where it was. But the next one is a little harder to explain. You see this house from the street and it stops you. White cottage, metal roof, pink front door, and the number 216 painted right on the door like it's been waiting for you specifically. This house was built in 1905. 120 years old, and inside it looks like somebody finished renovating it last weekend. The front porch was rebuilt in 2025. New steps, new decking, fresh wood. Walk through that pink door and you'll find white walls, clean lines, and natural light. The living room is bright. Coastal blue rug on the floor, ceiling fan overhead, sunlight coming in from every direction. The kitchen is all white cabinets, stainless steel appliances, and a dining table set with turquoise plates like somebody's about to sit down for breakfast. There's a natural gas stove in here, and the whole layout is open so you're never cooking alone in a corner. 2 bedrooms, both over 14 by 14, big enough that you're not just sleeping in there, you're living. The bathroom is modern tile that looks like wood planks, an oversized walk-in shower, clean and finished. Out back, there's a second porch with a half bath, and the plumbing is already in place to make it full whenever you're ready. The lot is almost half an acre, 2 sheds, one with electricity, and a window AC already set up as a workshop or a studio. The AC and heating system is brand new, 2025. Plumbing was redone in 2023. Water heater has both electric and gas options. Now let me tell you about this town. About 5,000 people and the oldest city in Polk County, established in 1849 as a military post during the Seminole Wars. Over 300 homes here are on the National Register of Historic Places, which tells you what kind of streets you're driving through. Peace River runs right through town. People come from across the state to paddle it and dig through the riverbed for fossilized shark teeth and mammoth bones that wash up from thousands of years ago. That's not a tourist gimmick. That's just what the river does. The town has restaurants, shops, a post office, everything on a quiet main street that still feels the way small towns used to. This is the kind of house where you move in on a Saturday and by Sunday evening you're already on that porch with the swing, wondering why you didn't do this 10 years ago. $189,900. I really didn't expect the next house to grab my attention this quickly, but something about it works almost immediately. This is a full brick house from 1963, sitting on just over an acre of flat green land with a metal roof and not a single neighbor close enough to hear you. From the air, it looks like a farmstead. Brick house up front, outbuilding in the back, a couple of carport bays to the side, and nothing but fields and trees in every direction. Step inside, and the pine hits you immediately. Knotty pine paneling on every wall, warm, golden, the kind of wood that makes the whole house feel like a lodge you'd pay to stay in. The living room is big, 19 by 14, with windows looking out onto the yard, and a wood stove set into a brick surround between the rooms. But the real surprise is the den, 13 by 30 feet. That's not a room, that's a hall. Ceiling fan overhead, pine walls wrapping you in, and enough space that you could put a couch at one end and a dining table at the other and still have room left over. The kitchen is solid, natural wood cabinets, a built-in wall oven and microwave, a gas cooktop, and a full-size stainless steel fridge. The dining room sits right next to it, same pine walls, a dark wood table and chairs, windows on both sides. 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, and a utility room with its own sink. Nearly 1,830 square feet, and the floor plan spreads it all out so nothing feels stacked on top of anything else. Outside, a double carport, an outbuilding out back, and over an acre of land with I-10 access just 3 miles down the road. The house has central air, ceiling fans in every room, and that wood stove for the cooler months. Now, let me show you where this is. About 400 people in Madison County. The town motto is "Little but Proud," and once you drive through it, you understand why they picked those words. Madison Blue Spring is right down the road. Crystal clear water, 72 degrees year-round. People come from all over the state to swim and kayak there. The Suwannee River runs through this part of the county, and Twin Rivers State Forest sits nearby with hiking trails, horseback riding, and some of the best birding in North Florida. The town of Madison is 8 miles west with grocery stores, restaurants, and a courthouse from 1912 that looks like something out of a movie. Let's put it all together. A brick house on an acre, with a metal roof and a den bigger than most people's living room and dining room put together. $185,000. The next house has the kind of first impression that makes you expect a much higher number, and somehow it only gets better the longer you look at it. This house was built in 1927. Full red brick, arched windows across the front, and a massive oak tree in the backyard that was probably here before the house was. Corner lot with access from 3 roads and a brand new privacy fence around the back. Inside, The walls are painted a warm caramel color that runs through the whole house and gives every room a glow, even before the lights come on. The living room has a white painted fireplace with leather recliners on either side and hardwood floors underneath. The kitchen has white cabinets, butcher block countertops, and a stainless steel refrigerator. There's a walk-in pantry with open shelving from floor to ceiling, the kind of storage you usually only find in houses that cost 3 times this much. A separate dining room sits right off the kitchen with a big window and room for a full table. 3 bedrooms, an office, and 1 bathroom. 1,700 square feet spread across a single floor with enough rooms that everyone has somewhere to go. There's a pellet stove in one of the back rooms for the cooler months, a carport on the side, and that oak tree out back, wide enough to shade half the yard on its own. The roof was replaced in 2019, and the HVAC system is from 2023. Public water and sewer are already connected. Now let me show you where this sits. About 850 people in Jackson County. They call it the crossroads of the Panhandle, and the name actually fits. The town sits right on Highway 231, which runs from the Alabama line straight down to Panama City Beach. During World War II, there was a prisoner of war camp right here where German soldiers picked peanuts and cotton in these same fields. But the thing most people don't know about this part of Florida, just 20 minutes up the road in Marianna, is Florida Caverns State Park. It's the only place in the entire state where you can walk through dry caves. Stalactites, stalagmites, formations that took 1,000 years to build 1 cubic inch. You walk through a house like this and you stop thinking about the price. You start thinking about the mornings, coffee in that kitchen with the butcher block counters, the fireplace going on a cold night, that oak tree doing all the work outside while you do nothing under it. But the next house drops below $130,000, and the more details I noticed, the less believable the price started feeling. 2 stories, white clapboard siding, green shutters. This house was built in 1930, and from the street it looks like something you'd see in a painting of the Old South. Except it's real, it's listed right now, and it's under $130,000. Walk in and the stone fireplace takes the room. Floor to ceiling, natural rock, the same kind of stonework you saw in the first 2 houses on this list, except this one costs almost $100,000 less. The living room is big, 16 by 14, with enough space around that fireplace to fill it however you want. The dining room has deep red walls, a dark wood table set for 6, and a chandelier overhead. Formal, warm, the kind of room where Thanksgiving dinner actually feels like Thanksgiving dinner. The kitchen is straightforward, white cabinets, a gas range, hardwood floors, and a round table by the window where the morning light comes in. 3 bedrooms on the main floor, 2 full bathrooms, and a laundry room. The primary bedroom has French doors with glass panels, hardwood underneath, and a ceiling fan. Bright, open, with the kind of natural light that makes the room feel twice its size. Now here's where this listing gets interesting. Upstairs, a completely separate 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment with its own private entrance from the first floor. It doesn't connect to the main house at all. Up there, you've got a living room, a billiard room with a dark wood floor and a ceiling fan, and a workshop space with a built-in bench. Whether that's a guest suite, a place for family, or just a part of the house you close the door on and deal with later, it's there, it's included, and it adds real square footage. 2,778 square feet total. That's $47 a square foot. Now let me show you this town. About 5,500 people in the county seat of Bradford County. This town exists because of the railroad. It was the halfway point between the Atlantic and the Gulf back in the 1850s, and people have been stopping here ever since. Downtown has a historic district on Call Street with antique shops, local restaurants, and the Florida Twin Theater, a movie theater that's been open since 1941 and still runs films on 2 screens. Camp Blanding is just outside town. During World War II, it trained over 800,000 soldiers, and today the museum still has tanks and aircraft sitting in the open for anyone to walk up and look at. A 2-story house from 1930 with a stone fireplace, a separate upstairs apartment, and enough room that 2 people could live under the same roof and never cross paths. $47 a square foot. The next house makes a strong first impression immediately, mostly because houses that look like that usually aren't sitting in this part of the market. $85,000 for a full brick house with a metal roof in Florida. I had to read that twice. This one doesn't try to impress you with size. It impresses you by not wasting a single square foot. 4 bedrooms, a bath and a half, and every room does exactly what it's supposed to do. The living room has wood wainscoting on the lower walls, cherry-toned laminate on the floor, red curtains catching the light, and a ceiling fan turning overhead. It's the kind of room where you sit down and don't feel like anything's missing. The kitchen is where this house surprises you. Dark wood cabinets wrapping the walls, a full-size stainless steel refrigerator, stainless stove, microwave, the kind of appliances you don't expect to see at this price. Tile floor, plenty of counter space, and everything ready to use the day you walk in. There's a hedge running across the front yard, a shed out back, a 2-car driveway, and public water and sewer already connected. No well, no septic, nothing to worry about. A 1/4 of an acre in town, paved road, and a brick house that's built to sit here another 40 years without asking for much. Now let me show you this town. The county seat of Hamilton County. They call it Florida's front porch. About 4,000 people, right on I-75, just south of the Georgia line. This town was named after Sergeant William Jasper, a Revolutionary War soldier who ran through British cannon fire to save the American flag in 1776. The old county jail from 1893 is still standing on a side street. It's the second oldest jail in the country, and you can walk through it. White Springs is down the road with a state park, a 200-foot bell tower, and some of the best river access in North Florida. It looks like a genuinely strong deal for the money when you take a closer look. $85,000. And this is where I had to pause because the next listing didn't match the expectations at all. It might actually be the best value for the money in this entire video. $60,000 in Florida. And when you pull up to this house, the first thing you notice isn't the price. It's the color. Bright mint green, the kind of shade you only see on houses in Florida. Metal roof, wide concrete driveway, mature trees on both sides, and a front door with an oval glass window that lets you see straight through to the kitchen before you even step inside. This house has no business being $60,000. The living room has brand new hardwood floors, skylights in the ceiling pouring light down from above, and enough room for a full sofa set and a dining table without anything feeling crowded. The dining room sits off to the side, dark wood table with carved chairs for 6, a chandelier overhead, hardwood underneath. This room looks like it belongs in a house 4 times the price. The kitchen is wrapped in oak cabinets on every wall. Gas stove, full pantry with pull-out shelves, a breakfast nook by the window with a little glass-top table. Off the kitchen there's an enclosed Florida room, turquoise walls, white tile floor, glass sliding doors, and the kind of light that makes you forget you're technically still indoors. 3 bedrooms, all generous, with big closets and ceiling fans. The master bathroom has a soaking tub and a separate shower. There's a room set up as a home gym and a laundry and storage area with a washer, dryer, and enough shelving to organize everything you own. High ceilings through the whole house. Newer AC, metal roof, new water heater. This is a 55-plus community, which, if you're at that stage of life like me, means the neighborhood is quiet, the yards are kept up, and nobody's throwing a party at midnight. Now let me show you where this is. About 8,000 people in Lake County, sitting right on the edge of some of the best lake country in Central Florida. Lake Griffin State Park is a few minutes away, and inside it stands the second largest live oak tree in the entire state, somewhere between 300 and 500 years old. Every store, restaurant, and doctor's office you could need is close by. But on the streets where people actually live, it's shaded oaks, small yards, and the kind of quiet where the loudest thing you hear is somebody closing a car door. So here's the deal. A turquoise house with skylights and a soaking tub and oak cabinets in every direction. $60,000. After everything I had already seen on this list, I genuinely couldn't believe my eyes. There is no way the next house should be priced this low. $44,000. A 1938 bungalow. White clapboard, metal roof, covered front porch with columns. That price isn't missing a 0. That's the real number, and the house behind it is real too. Inside, hardwood floors, beadboard and pine paneling on the walls, high ceilings, and light pouring in from windows on every side. One of the rooms has French doors with glass panels that open straight onto the yard. Green grass, old trees, and the kind of quiet that makes you lower your voice without thinking about it. The kitchen is simple, white walls, a wood stove set into a brick surround. The bathroom is basic, pedestal sink, a tub, white tile, nothing fancy. But every wall in this house has the kind of texture that only comes from real wood that's been here for almost a century. Now let me show you this town. About 2,300 people, right on the Apalachicola River, one of the most biodiverse rivers in North America. People fish it, paddle it, and camp along it all year. The town is named after a Creek Indian chief who walked Andrew Jackson through this part of Florida 200 years ago, and not much has changed since, except the roads got paved. The Gulf beaches are about an hour south, Tallahassee about an hour east. Grocery stores, restaurants, and everything you need day to day is within 2 miles of this front door. You don't walk through a house like this and think about what needs fixing. You think about what your mornings would look like. $44,000. People write Florida off. Too expensive, too crowded, too late. But you just saw 10 properties that say otherwise. Every single one is a real active listing, and all the links are waiting for you in the description below. Thanks for watching. Tell me in the comments which state you want to see next.